Attention, the following broadcast has been approved by Outcasted OC. Viewer discretion is advised. Incoming transmission in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's up guys, Mugen Ross here giving you this week's SmackDown review, and we're going to dive straight in. It is the SmackDown before Money in the Bank, and Money in the Bank is later this evening. For UK fans, it's more Sunday morning, but either way, it's going to start at midnight and it's going to be hype. So let's just get into the SmackDown card and talk about how it lines up to where the Money in the Bank pay-per-view is going. So we open with main event Jey Uso in your city. He literally hypes up the crowd and just says, if you want Jey to be the new Mr. Yeet in the Bank, say Yeet. Crowd obviously join in with this. But a bigger pop literally follows straight after with LA Knight coming out. Says he's let me talk to you. He states he likes that he asked the fans if they want to see him because, you know, last year he walked in being the favourites to win, and he has a feeling that Jey's now the favourite to win. I respect everything you've done. You had this whole struggle with your phony bloodline family, then you left, did your own thing, day one-ish, and all of this. But I'm going to do the best thing I know how with showing you respect. I'm not going to show you any tomorrow. And I thought that was a really cool line between all of them. They have a yeet and yeah off, which was very interesting. The glasses come off. They do one more each. So then Carmella Hayes comes out and stops it. Says, I hate to be the guy, but I am that guy. No one in the crowd wants to hear the yeet and yeah. Mella says, how you been, LA? It's been a while since we've seen you. Last time we saw you, you were in Logan's prime location. So much that you probably could tell everyone what the next flavour of Prime tastes like. I thought that was a crazy line. Yeah, Mello was cooking a bit there. Tadada says to Jey, me and you got a lot in common, which gets cut off by Chad Gable. Chad Gable states, unlike the rest of these, I've been living in my own hell. My family's left me. The Wyatt Six are chasing me, but he hesitates when he says the Wyatt Six just in case, looks around, says it again, and says, attacking me for God knows what reason. But, you know, I got hit in the head, left for dead, but I'm still here. I didn't chicken out. I didn't run away. Andrade comes out, cuts everyone off. Everyone talks about how it's their dream to win the Money in the Bank going forward. But the Money in the Bank is a dangerous match, and the only person who can win it is a dangerous man. And goes to call himself a dangerous man to Drew comes out and interrupts. Which I thought was a really cool line because Corey Graves adds into it and said, if we want to talk about dangerous men, let's talk about the most dangerous man in this Money in the Bank match when it came to Drew coming out. Drew stated he expected better from Canada because they were in the Commonwealth, but also says Punk isn't here, but his family is always with him, and shows the bracelet on his wrist. And he says, yeah, let me go and see all my competition. Goes on Andrade, El Idiot, which I thought was just quite subtle, simple. Then, yeah, walks up to Chad and just looks at him and goes, I feel bad for you. Then looks at Mello and says, you aren't him, you're looking up to him. LA Knight got told he will need the words no, because yeah is not going to be in his vocabulary on that night. And then he just straight up asked Jey, how did you get through the borders? Because criminal past and things, and Canada letting him in, which was interesting. But yeah, all very much breaks down to a fight. Started off by Andrade, and then everyone carries on fighting each other. Drew kind of is the last man standing in these situations, to then Jey Uso and LA Knight kind of team up, have these yeet and yeah punch combination, and then they both throw him outside of the ring, stare at each other like, yeah, we just did that. Cool, but when it comes to Money in the Bank, we're fighting each other kind of energy. And it was cool. We get Bayley backstage talking about how Money in the Bank is one of the most dangerous matches and grueling matches, and how it can be quite brutal, but it's all about remaining focused and your timing, about cashing in when you win. I should know I've been the longest. Chelsea Green interrupts, shouts boring. Her advice is irrelevant, like how irrelevant she is as a champion, because she was literally moments away from losing if Chelsea Green didn't get kicked out of the arena when it was Clash at the Castle. You see Papa run out of nowhere, literally forearm knock out Bayley, hold her against some crates, pinning her down, and Chelsea just laying out the game plan of how Chelsea's going to have Piper knock her down when it matters the most, and then she will cash in and become the new champion. And I thought that was interesting. I don't understand how Piper isn't angry that she's not in the Money in the Bank scenario and Chelsea's taking the opportunity and knocking the champion that Piper's already been fighting down. So that could be lining up to a feud between Chelsea and Piper potentially. But that's just how I kind of see this booking. But we'll have to see where that goes. We now also have a very angry and looks quite hurt Bailey speaking to Nick Aldis after the commercial break and states, well, I've spoke to Nick, I've got my revenge, I'm going for Piper Niven tonight, and the match is official. We have the return of Yes Boys! I was beyond happy the fact Street Profits are getting to go against my Pretty Deadly. But yeah, the match wasn't anything to scream home about for Pretty Deadly. They basically got ragdolled for most of it, tried to do their unique ways, because they did a ref distraction to get a big boot and like kind of a neck breaker on the ring ropes. But yeah, didn't really work in their favour. Montez basically did his incredible combination that he does of his couple of kicks, then insecurity, then dived on the outside, threw them over. I will say Pretty Deadly hit a super duper plex, which I love that they call that it. It's where one's on the shoulder of the others, they grab and then do a superplex, so they like double the height from across the ring. I thought it looked cool. Yeah, but Dawkins snuck in the tag, hits a swanton. Last second, Elton stops it, but Montez Ford goes to fly on the outside once again, hits the pair of them, drags Prince in, and then gets the splash for the win. So, yeah, Pretty Deadly are back, but they're not really doing much with them, and they made them lose. Like, oh, it sucks. It really sucks. But hey, hopefully better things to come soon. Waller and Fury stating backstage how they've got their tag match, and how they need to be on the same page. Fury says, I've had time to think about what Johnny said. Waller's like, nah, man, you've let him get in your head. Like, how many? Let me put it this way to you: how many championships have you won when you were with Johnny? And he was like, yeah, exactly. When you left and did your own thing, you became 2-time champion. You became youngest Money in the Bank holder, and you're a tag champion with me. So that kind of motivates Austin to be like, yeah, okay, maybe I need to get out of my head. Yeah, no, let's focus on the actual fight we have. By the way, most of this card is all tag matches. Obviously, I think they didn't really want to do a lot of singles competition leading up to Money in the Bank. I don't think they really wanted to push that agenda. So it makes sense. We had Indy and Candice, LeRae versus Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. We had the match opening between Indy and Jade Cargill. A very quick tag was made from Candice, and Indy and Candice get a quite nice combination on Jade. But Jade is one of those characters that they're building where no matter how much you're knocking her down, she'll get back up. And that very worked. When Indy got a moment to kind of knock Jade dazed a bit, she mimicked the pose. We also then had a double boot from them, which was a bit like, okay, that was crazy because they really hit hard on each other. Yeah, Bianca gets the hot tag in, so did Candice, but Candice really didn't get much. Bianca kind of powerhouses through all of this, hits her 10 punches. As Indy gets in to try and stop the 10 punches, Belair flips over the two of them, lands out of the way. You'll see her do like a power slam of Candice, because Candice went to hit like a Hurricane Rana. Belair caught it, stopped, power slams onto Indy, and then we get a roll up. Jade and Bianca stop it from happening. You see Indy 1 minute pull Bianca's hair out of the way for one of the spots as well. But in sync and in that correct moment, we get Bianca and Jade both hitting their finishers of Jaded and KOD, and both posing in the ring together. They said we've had a rough couple of months, but we're coming to finish what we started. We're coming back for the tag belts. Alba Fire, Isla Dawn. See you very soon. Which, the direction of that, I get it, but I also don't. Like, you have the perfect opportunity to line them up and, like, plant the seeds of, okay, but who was the one that cost us the tag match the most, and let Jade build into a singles competitor, because I think a powerhouse like her definitely needs more singles matches than just tag matches. Unless they keep letting her tag till she gets like WWE's format a lot better in the ring. But we'll have to wait and see how they're doing it. But I just think it's a bit weird to consistently put her in tag matches now. I get the friendship and the kinship of Bianca and Jade, but I want to see Jade do some more solo matches. I enjoyed when she was in the King and the Queen tournament because she had a couple matches against people. So that's all I want. We get Kevin Owens and Randy Orton come out with Cody Rhodes joining them, talking about how Toronto kind of just fits with wrestling. The fact that they've got SmackDown now, they've got Money in the Bank tomorrow, they've also got NXT's Heat Wave, and just talking about how we're sick and tired hearing enough about Solo. If it's a fight they want, it's a fight they've got. And Randy says how I'm going to finish the fight is with the 3 most deadliest letters of RKO. Kevin Owens kind of opens up and does a more heartfelt promo. Speaks about the past 4 days he's actually been in Quebec, his hometown, because his mum is really ill. Which we all wish the best, Kevin. Like, you're an amazing talent, but family always comes first. So hopefully your mum is on the recovery end and we understand why you haven't been on television. But he also states, in this moment, she's fighting like hell right now in the ring. So, like, in her situation, would be fighting like hell. So he said he's going to fight like hell in the ring. There would be one person who'd be pissed at him not going and doing the fight. And that is his mum. So, he said, like, this is as serious as I've ever been in my whole career. I'm not just coming here to kick the crap out of the Bloodline like I have for the past 4 years. I'm going to beat them to a level they've never even realised. And I'm going to make it personal. And I thought that was awesome. Like, it really pulled at the heartstrings because I understand how much Kevin Owens is a family man, how much his family had meant to him. Like, from the years of, 11 years old, his family always pushed him to be a wrestler, and look where he is now. So I understand it's a very tough situation for Kevin Owens, and I hope the best outcome comes out of that. We have the revenge match that I mentioned between Piper Niven and Bayley. Bayley starts with raining down punches, really trying to go over and get her anger taken back out on Niven. But the problem being is Niven kind of overpowers her, just lifts her and throws her around like a rag doll. Slams Bayley, hits her with a huge clothesline. Bayley does get a bulldog on Piper and takes the chance to stare down Chelsea Green. As that happens, her legs get dragged and hit the ring post. Then what I thought was really unique, the camera starts panning around a lot of places. Io's watching from the sideline. Zoe Starks is watching from the sideline. So is Lyra Valkyrie. And I'm like, okay, I understand because they're all Money in the Bank contenders. You're playing into, wow, they could go for this belt. Or they could go for, Livs. But, hey, they're playing into who could potentially go for Bayley, which I thought was pretty interesting. We then see Tiffany walk down, pointing to the ring as they are carrying on their fight between Bayley and Niven, and just doing her "it's Tiffy time" and laughing. You see Bayley tries to go for a rose plant and misses, then applies a sleeper hold where Piper looks like she's about to fade, but then reverses it and slams Bayley. Also hits like a net breaker. Chelsea and Naomi start having a back and forth, shouting at each other, and that turns into a fight on the outside. Io dives over the ramp, the barricade, and joins the fight, starts taking out Naomi. Lyra jumps to go help Naomi. That very is quickly snubbed out because Zoe runs straight after her, grabs her before she gets to Naomi. They start fighting. Tiffy kind of avoids all of them, runs up to the top of the ring, hits the prettiest moonsault to take them all out. In that moment, we see Piper just run and mega slams into Bayley. Bayley looks dazed. Piper goes for her second rope senton and misses that. No one was home. Bayley quickly runs in, gets the rose plant again, and gets that win. We then see, as she has won, Nia Jax comes out, starts beating down Bayley really bad, hits this big leg drop. So then you hear a kendo stick just smack off Nia Jax's back, and Michin is there, raining down these kendo stick hits, and Bailey looks kind of scared, like, is she going to go for me or not? And, like, Michi's like, no, stay there. I got you. Like, I'll cover you. So, it seems like Michin is on the right agenda to look after Bailey because she's had enough of Nia and Tiffany more than she actually wants to defend Bailey for being a friend to Bailey. Which I thought was still cool, you know, like, my enemy is your enemy, so we will become a common ally. I thought was an interesting way to play that. DIY doing a promo as they're about to go to their match about catching lightning in a bottle for a second time. It's 8 years ago they won the NXT tag belts in this building, and 2 years ago Johnny Gargano returned to WWE in this building, so because it's like a second home to them and Ciampa. And mate, what a match we had! Like DIY versus like A-Town Down Under, just everything we needed and more. They just cooked like the whole match. We had a cheap shot happen to Austin Theory. They were going for blow for blow in the center of the ring, flying out on the outside, stuff hitting on the ground. Johnny Gargano hits the equivalent of what looked like a Cleveland Destroyer on the outside, which looked brutal. And then Austin returned the favor with a huge running clothesline that knocked him out. We got inside corridors being countered. We had like net breakers being countered. We had Willow's bell and a super kick, and that was still kicked out. We have like meet me in the middle happen, but it didn't quite work. The first time we had a shatter machine, which was still a 2 count. We had Austin Theory doing his like rolling like drop kick, and then like the face crash that he does as well. An unprettier by like Waller that he does, the flipping unprettier, I think he calls it. But yeah, like the match just had spot after spot after spot, and then we get the win for DIY with both of them hitting their submission moves. Like first it was hit on Waller, like Johnny hits Waller and Austin dives to stop Waller tapping, and he goes to hit, like he goes to look like he hits Johnny. So then you just see Ciampa slide in, hit the submission on him and like hold them, and both of them are just screaming and agonizing in pain. And then yeah, the tap happens. DIY are your new tag champs. I love this. I've wanted DIY as tag champions for a while, since they've joined back up as DIY. So my NXT Black and Gold days of hyping DIY have paid off. So I love this. And yeah, not much else I can really say other than the match was incredible. That was really a good way to send people home for a SmackDown. I don't mind a full show of tag matches. I enjoy tag team wrestling, so it was quite good for me. But the main storyline things to take away was what happened after DIY. Solo addressed the WWE Universe, talked about the necklace and how it represents the Tribal Chief. States that Roman didn't defend their legacy. Roman didn't defend the bloodline. He didn't defend their honor. He wasn't man enough when it came to that WrestleMania moment. So Solo didn't want to have to do this, but he had to. He had to step up to represent the bloodline. He turned around and also stated he is going to take the undisputed WWE title back off Cody. And he says if Roman wants that belt and wants that necklace back, he could try and take it from Solo. But Solo is the new Tribal Chief. And you see Jacob Fatu place the necklace over Solo's neck and there, and then they all throw up the one. You see Tama Tonga, you see Tamaloa, and then Jacob slightly silhouetted in the background. They were in like a dark room where it's like a very mafia boss table, and it looked dope. Very cinematic, and it's how they closed the show off. So they are planting the seeds for Solo and Roman. Haven't been talking. They are disagreeing. He didn't really address why he did what he did to Paul Heyman. So we'll have to see if that also gets brought up. But all in all, SmackDown was a lot of fun. I love tag team wrestling, so it was a very different episode for me because it scratched my itch of I don't get to see enough tag team wrestling on WWE cards. It's a lot less lately, but they really emphasized it this episode, and I thought it was dope. Let me know what you guys think of this SmackDown. Let me know who you think is winning Money in the Bank. I have already gave my predictions on Thursday's podcast episode if you want to go back and watch that. But we will probably have a watch along on our socials. So if you want to see in touch or watch how we react to it live, check the socials out down at the bottom. And if you like these type of videos, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you never want to miss when we upload a video. And yeah, stay tuned for what we do, and I'll see you on the next review, guys.